The purpose of this podcast is to educate and inform. It is no substitute for professional care by your doctor or your qualified healthcare professional. Never disregard or delay professional medical advice because of something you've heard on this podcast or in any linked material. Guests who speak on this podcast express their own opinions, experience, and conclusions. Dr. Shirley neither endorses nor opposes any particular opinion discussed on this podcast. The views expressed on this podcast have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, practice, institution, or other entity with which Dr. Shirley may be affiliated.
Welcome to Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty. This podcast is curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD, as the definitive source of holistic wellness through beauty.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Shirley. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Fab, a segment of the Forever Fab podcast where I review products, services, experiences, and frankly, whatever, in 15 minutes or less. If the full-length podcast is a couture dress, for example, then 15 Minutes of Fab is like a button-down French cuff white shirt paired with leather leggings. If you don't have time to tune into the full-length podcast, then check out 15 Minutes of Fab, just a small dose. Some have considered it truth and beauty or plastic surgery secrets or as a nerdy or academic take on wellness and beauty with a dash of fashion. Consider it what you may. My aim is to engage you as a credible and authoritative voice in most, if not all aspects of beauty and wellness with a dash of fashion. That includes products, wellness services, technologies, innovations, new scientific research, and plastic surgery. As the founder of Holistic Plastic Surgery, my approach to beauty is through a lens of wellness that's grounded in science, backed by medical study and research, strengthened by my clinical experience, and bolstered by my surgical training with the use of principles and techniques of plastic surgery. And then there's my love of fashion. Of course, I feel uniquely qualified to talk with you about beauty, wellness, aesthetics, and plastic surgery, as well as products and services within those spaces, not only because of my extensive, and may I add, expensive training and expansive background, but also because I'm one of you. Many of the human issues around aging and being a fierce fab person, as well as an agent for positive change, I live these too, and I try. You're not alone. So together we can help the world become a more beautiful, forever fab place. So if you'll have me and give me at least 15 minutes of your time, let's get at it. In this new year, I've decided that it will be one of expansion and discovery. So I'll explore all sorts of topics, near and possibly far-fetched, while still focusing on the topics that make the Forever Fab podcast, well, fabulous, namely fashion, the art of living well or wellness, and beauty. As part of my philosophy of holistic plastic surgery, which I created well over probably now 15 years ago, where I believe that beauty emanates from within, wellness plays an integral role in my practice. And this goes for many aspects of life that help you to live in grace and beauty, including nutrition, exercise, products, services, technologies, mind, body, spirit, and science. The title of today's episode of 15 Minutes of Fab on the Forever Fab podcast is Om Good. Meditation for Beauty. It isn't just for peace of mind, it's also for peaceful skin. Meditation has been shown to have beneficial effects on beauty, believe it or not. How you Om may impact how you look. Let's get into it, shall we? What is meditation in the first place? Well, according to Wikipedia, meditation is, quote, a practice in which an individual uses a technique, such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object or thought or activity, to train attention and awareness and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state, end quote. The practice is centuries old And it's a fundamental aspect of a number of religions, including Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. But it's also been adopted and adapted to a certain extent for modern times. Why has meditation stood the test of time? Well, because it's known to be beneficial to the mind, the body, and the soul, and essential to the abatement of suffering in the human condition. Wikipedia, by the way, also adds that meditation, quote, may significantly reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and pain, and enhance peace, perception, self-concept, and well-being, end quote. More on this later. So, how does one meditate? Or how does one do meditation? There are a number of different ways to do it. In general, there are three basic types of meditation. The three categories are mindfulness meditations, loving kindness meditation, and concentration. And each of these types includes different styles of practice within those categories. A Healthline.com article goes even further to state that there are 9 popular types of meditation practice. And that is a recent article from Healthline.com. If you want the links to where I've gathered some of my research, go to the foreverfabpodcast.com website and you can find the links there. So according to this Healthline.com article, the sort of popular types of meditation are 9. Mindfulness meditation is the most popular, and it's the meditation where you focus on your thoughts. A spiritual meditation explores a connection to a higher power, whatever that may be for you. Focused meditation involves concentrating on one or more, but essentially one, of your 5 senses, such as your breath. Movement meditation involves moving, such as Tai Chi or walking in nature. This is my meditation of choice, and my moving meditation is in the form of yoga, and I know you've heard me talk about that before. Another type of meditation is mantra meditation, and it uses a repetitive sound, word, or phrase, which is your mantra, as a guide, and an example is simply Om. Transcendental meditation uses a specific phrase to quiet the mind, and that's what I was taught. I was given this phrase, and you just repeat it and focus on this phrase. And transcendental meditation is also the subject of many scientific studies. More on that later. There's progressive relaxation meditation, and that's also known as the body scan. So you use progressive relaxation of the body, one muscle group at a time. So you're basically telling yourself or allowing yourself to focus on a muscle group and just let you tell yourself that that muscle group is relaxing. And you progressively move either up or down the body, most commonly from up to down, and you progressively, muscle group by muscle group, relax that part of your body. The loving kindness meditation is also a very popular one, and that offers compassion to oneself and to others. And lastly, the 9th type of meditation is visualization meditation, where you imagine yourself in a scene with as much detail as possible and imagining that scene and feeling and experiencing all of those possibilities in the scene are supposed to help you increase your motivation and ultimately focus on your goals to achieve some of those goals. Okay, all that's great. But is there actually evidence that meditation positively affects the physical body? Well, a Forbes.com article on the 10 science-backed benefits of meditation lists that the benefits of meditation include stress reduction, reduction of anxiety, lower symptoms of depression, lower blood pressure, strengthening the immunity. And how this works is that a consistent meditation practice will lower your body's stress response, and that lowered stress response will reduce your body inflammation. Another benefit, at least according to this Forbes.com article, is that a consistent meditation practice improves cognitive function and memory. It regulates mood and reduces impulsivity. It increases your self-awareness to help you moderate your emotional reactions to a whole host of things. It helps with addiction management, whether that addiction is substance abuse or other cravings. And meditation improves sleep. According to the Mayo Clinic, there is strong evidence to suggest that, quote, the emotional and physical benefits of meditation are numerous and include focusing on the present, reducing negative emotions, increasing imagination and creativity, increasing patience and tolerance, and lowering your resting heart rate. The Mayo Clinic also states that there is research that meditation can help patients manage the physical symptoms of some medical conditions, including asthma, cancer, chronic pain, depression, heart disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and tension headaches. I mean, wow, that's impressive. So you see how meditation can improve your life on many levels. But the data so far seems, well, internal, right? Or mental or psychological. What does meditation have to do with beauty? Well, let's not forget my raison d'etre. And one of the main reasons why you, my listener, tune into this podcast. It's for the perspective, the holistic viewpoint that serves as the basis of my work. Since I believe that what's inside affects what's outside, it only stands to reason that meditation's internal benefits can certainly help to bring out beautiful effects externally. Recall that I mentioned earlier that consistent meditation can bolster or support the immune system by lowering the body's stress response. A lower stress response or an improved stress response will reduce inflammation. And it's the same mechanism that also contributes to radiant skin through meditation. A recent Cosmopolitan.com article iterates that the stress-skin connection exists and that stress increases cortisol levels. Fact, we know that. Sustained and prolonged high levels of cortisol wreak havoc not only on our hormones, but also to the body's responses to stress. And that can lead to inflammation as well as detrimental skin changes. And some of those detrimental skin changes include excessive dryness, thinning, increased oil production, clogged pores, collagen damage, hyperpigmentation or dark spots, and premature aging or, increased fine lines and wrinkles. This inflammation in turn then leads to blackheads, acne, and skin irritation, and increased skin sensitivity. It's a lot going on, all from this spark of inflammation. So there is a mind-body connection throughout. It's not just woo-woo, and frankly, it's not woo-woo at all. It's real. And if stress can affect your skin, as I just explained, then that which improves stress can improve your skin, as does a regular meditation practice. Which reminds me, what are Dr. Shirley's Fab 5 rules of beauty? The primary pillars, right? The most important, at least where you should start off from. Number 1, good nutrition. That's the first rule of beauty. Number 2, adequate daily hydration. Number 3, consistent restful sleep. Number 4, frequent and effective stress management. And in light of what we just discussed, frequent and effective stress management to decrease total body inflammation, to decrease the levels of cortisol, to therefore decrease the hazardous effects on your skin. And number 5, mind, body, and soul nourishment and protection. I'm painting it all for you, folks. I mean, it's all related. So in closing this episode of 15 Minutes of Fab on the Forever Fab podcast, make a commitment to yourself and your inner and outer well-being and begin a meditation practice. You don't have to go for a full 20 minutes. You can just start with a couple of minutes each day and then progressively increase to what is commonly known as, right, the ultimate goal, if you ascribe to that, of 20 minutes twice a day. And there are lots of tools to help you. My favorite tool is Insight Timer. Go to the Forever Fab Podcast website for more resources and helpful links. That's foreverfabpodcast.com. This concludes this episode of 15 Minutes of Fab on the Forever Fab Podcast. As always, stay beautiful and forever fabulous, inside and out. As always, if you love this episode of the Forever Fab Podcast, please share it and subscribe to the feed. Listen to past episodes or check out who's coming up next on foreverfabpodcast.com. If you enjoy listening to the Forever Fab Podcast and you want more, get more audio and visuals with a membership through Patreon. Choose the gold, platinum, or diamond tier for premium added content, special co-hosts, lifestyle videos, branded merchandise, and maybe even private access to my clubhouse by visiting patreon.com/foreverfab. If you're a founder or you represent a beauty brand and you want to be featured on an episode of the Forever Fab podcast segment of 15 Minutes of Fab, send me some stuff. Visit foreverfabpodcast.com and fill out the contact form. For general holistic beauty tips or to set up an appointment with me to discuss your personalized options for leveling up your beauty, visit elementsandgraces.com and sign up for my newsletter or just give us a call. And for an online e-consultation on time, anytime, and on your time, visit clicklift.com for your wellness, plastic surgery, beauty, and wellness questions on the go. That's click-lift.com. It's time for the Elevated House Call. Jet Set Beauty RX offers beauty on-call services near your home or other domicile, delivering beauty in the privacy of a medically equipped mobile aesthetics unit. Reserve your appointment at jetsetbeautyrx.com. Thank you for listening to this week's Forever Fab podcast episode. Until next time, stay beautiful and fabulous, inside and out.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Forever Fab, the podcast on fashion, the art of living, and all things beauty, curated by Dr. Shirley Madhere, MD. Live beautifully and help make the world a more beautiful place.